Welcome back to this week's Premier League review. We've got big news and big upsets. I'm your host, Dan, and let's kick it. Starting off with the Matchweek 3 review, the first match and the best match, London Derby, Chelsea versus Fulham. As you can see, Chelsea 2-0, they whooped them. It really was never close, although Fulham did have a goal ruled out by VAR. Chelsea dominated the whole game. There was nothing much in it. The second game of the day, Manchester United versus Burnley. What a match. Leading scorer for Manchester United this year is own goal. He is doing a great job for them, okay? Came down to the wire, but as always, Manchester United gets bailed out in the 117th minute by a goal. You hate to see it, but that's what happens sometimes. Starting off with the Match Week 3 review, the first match and the best match, London Derby, Chelsea versus Fulham. As you can see, Chelsea 2-0, they whooped them. It really was never close, although Fulham did have a goal ruled out by VAR. Chelsea dominated the whole game. There was nothing much in it. The second game of the day, Manchester United versus Burnley. What a match. Leading scorer for Manchester United this year is own goal. He is doing a great job for them, okay? Came down to the wire, but as always, Manchester United gets bailed out in the 117th minute by a goal. You hate to see it, but that's what happens sometimes. On to the third match of the day, Sunderland beating Brentford. Sunderland is having a very nice start to the season with 2 wins. That is great for a relegated side, or a promoted side, excuse me, who usually immediately gets relegated again. The next match, Tottenham and Bournemouth. So Tottenham falls right back down to earth after beating Man City the week before. They now lose 1-0 to Bournemouth. Bournemouth is not a bad side, but after you beat Man City, you expect to keep it up. They lose immediately. Our next match involves probably the current worst team in the Premier League, Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Everton. Now, the Wolves did actually score 2 goals, but Everton scores 3, which that means you lose when the other team scores more. And they have 3 losses through 3 games, and they have the most goals against. That is not a good sign for the Wolves. They're lucky it's early. Our next match, Leeds versus Newcastle. Throw the match out the window. It's a 0-0 draw. No one cares. The much bigger news coming, Alexander Isak is sold to Liverpool for a Premier League record 170 million USD, because I'm American, so I don't care about pounds. 170 million USD. Yeah, I thought he would honestly sit the whole year, but looks like they gave up. They stopped being stubborn. They sold him. So Sunday's start of the games: Brighton versus Man City. Man City loses again. Now I know last year they also had a kind of a rough start at the beginning, but to lose back to back to Tottenham and Brighton is a little eye-opening. Holland scores, but they're not looking too bright right now. West Ham comes through with a huge performance for their manager, who was looking like he may be sacked if they keep losing, especially after a 5-1 loss to Chelsea the week before, in which they got obliterated in every part of the game. They come through with a big win here against Nottingham Forest, who is looking a little down to start the year. Definitely game of the week up next, Liverpool versus Arsenal. You already know they're coming second. Keep piling the jokes on Arsenal. They're never going to come through in the big moments, and Liverpool Their goal was an absolute worldie off a free kick. The only thing that separated them, give Arsenal the what if trophy. Last game of match week 3, Crystal Palace decimates Aston Villa even without Eze. So they are looking really good even after selling their best player in Aston Villa. What are you doing? So here we are, match week 4, starting off Saturday with Arsenal versus Nottingham. Arsenal lost a close one to Liverpool, and Nottingham got destroyed by West Ham, so give me Arsenal on that one. It's going to be an easy one. Our next match is Bournemouth versus Brighton and Hove Albion. So I've been thinking Bournemouth is pretty good, and Brighton actually just beat Man City. So this is going to be a pretty good match. I think it'll end in a draw, though. Probably 1-1. Crystal Palace versus Sunderland. Who would have thought in week 4 we'd be saying that this has potential to be game of the week? Not me. Crystal Palace coming off a nice win, and Sunderland with 2 wins out of 3. Pretty crazy, but I'm still going to take Crystal Palace on this one, 2-1. Everton versus Aston Villa. So Everton did get a big win last week, and Aston Villa hasn't really been doing so hot to start this year, but I'm down on Everton, so give me Aston Villa on this one. It'll probably be close though, maybe 1-0 or 2-1. Fulham versus Leeds United for our next match. Fulham has been doing good, even though they just lost 2-0 to Chelsea. They were still solid. Leeds has not been doing good. I think this one could get ugly. This might be 3-0. Newcastle United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0-3. They have the most goals against. They have the worst goal differential. Until they can prove me otherwise, just got to pick against them. So Newcastle big. Our 12:30 game, West Ham United versus Tottenham Hotspurs. West Ham did obliterate last week, big win, and Tottenham came back down to earth. I know West Ham got destroyed by Chelsea, but I think they're a decent team. They may have gotten a little figured out last week. So I don't know if this is the upset, but I'm going to call it the upset. Give me West Ham United 2-0. And easiest match to pick of the week. Everybody knows the outcome of this game. Best team in the Premier League, Chelsea versus Brentford. This one could get ugly early. Chelsea 3-1. Now, our Sunday slate, we only have 2 games. Burnley versus Liverpool is the first one to start the day. And is this an upset? Are we going to get a potential upset of the year here for Burnley? No, I don't think we will. Even if they play decent, this one could still be bad too. This probably will be the highest scoring game of the week. I'll give them a goal though to be generous, but 4-1. And potentially game of the week, you know what, I'll just say it. My pick for game of the week, the Manchester Derby. Man City versus Man United. We all know Man United is horrible, and as of the time of recording this video, Man City signs Donnarumma. So Man United could be in for a world of hurt here, although Man City's been down too. So you know what? I'm going to call it. Give me the upset. 2-1 United. Manchester will be red. And that is going to be all, folks. If you agree or disagree with my picks, leave a comment down below and be sure to like the video. I'm your host, Dan. Peace.